Hey everybody, welcome to the backyard today. It's a sunny afternoon. We got a breeze and a little chill to the air, but it is a lovely day. We had rain last night, so man, we're just thankful for everything today. We're going to do something different for you today that's probably going to turn a lot of people off with the first time I say it. Leftovers. Yes, we're going to talk about using leftovers. And we're going to do those in a spin that a lot of people think, well, I don't know if you can pull this off. Well, I'm going to try. And I have in the past, so I think I'm going to be really good. What we have in here is 2 pounds of pulled pork. Now, we had smoked this. It's been in the freezer for about a week or so. We had done this earlier, and if you look back on my videos, I have a pulled pork brisket video, and all I brine this with is sugar and salt and water for about 24 hours before I smoke it. There's no other seasoning on this. But whenever you do a big pulled pork, you do several, a lot of times you have leftovers. So it's not just me. If you don't have leftovers and you want to try this recipe, there's a lot of stores that you can buy pre-cooked pulled pork with. Just be careful of the seasoning. All right, so what are we going to do with this? All right, we're going to make my version of carnitas. Now, the recipe is a little different. If I take pulled pork from the beginning when it's raw, my recipe is a lot different than what it is with this today. But we're going to go ahead and give this a whirl. All right? And I think y'all won't frown on leftovers as bad after we get through with this video. Folks, I'm going to do this in a Dutch oven. And here lately, I've used Dutch ovens that I haven't been a big fan of. This is a different brand. I'm not going to go into the brand. It's a decent camp oven, all right? But the surface in this Dutch oven is really tough. And it's really been hard for me to get it the way I like an oven. You know, there's certain moderately priced ovens that are out there that are easy for me to get the surface really good in. There's some expensive ones that don't take a lot of work. And then there's some that are really, really inexpensive that take a tremendous amount of work. So kind of shoot in the middle if you're new for Dutch oven cooking. But I already have in this Dutch oven a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to add this. This is about 2 pounds of pork. Okay. I'll kind of scatter that around a little bit in the bottom. To that, we're going to add about a cup, a little more than a cup of water. You're welcome to use a beef broth or a pork broth if you want. But because this is already smoked, I'm going to go ahead and use water. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of diced onion. I'm going to add a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of pepper. I'm going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. A tablespoon of garlic. A tablespoon of Mexican oregano. Now you can use regular oregano if you prefer. Now in this last one, there's a tablespoon of cumin, a teaspoon of cayenne, and a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you want to use a jalapeno, you can do that. I mean, you can kind of take this. We're using leftovers, folks, so we're kind of cleaning out the ice box as we work through all this, right? In here is a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Now, for something like this, I like dark brown sugar because it brings a different kind of sweetness to me than standard brown sugar. This is never going to come out of here the right way. I'm going to kind of crumble that up on top. And it sticks to your fingers. It gets all over everything. I'm going to kind of clean up a little. The last thing is an orange. Now, this is something I like. It's in a few carnita recipes. You can find it, but I prefer some citrus. And believe it or not, folks, I've used grapefruit And grapefruit has a very unique taste to it. You just got to add a little more sugar. So to this, and these are seedless oranges, by the way. So to this, we want to add, we want to add the orange. First, we want to squeeze it really good, and then we're just going to drop it in there. Same way with the other one. I'm going to squeeze it really good, and we just want to drop it off in there. That's all we're going to do. We're going to close this up. Now let's talk just a minute. This pulled pork is already cooked. So how are we going to put this flavor into the pulled pork? Gently. We're going to cook it very gently on this side of my smoker. Now we've got a fire going in here. And folks, by the way, I'm by myself right now in this video. I don't have my camera operator, so it's probably going to be worse than all the rest. But in here, I can tell by touching this, this is probably in the neighborhood of about 350. This, if the thermometer is accurate, is about 225. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to watch this very closely. But you know what? I'm going to change my mind. That feels a little hot to me. We're going to go in here with our Dutch oven. And we're going to cook this for probably 30 minutes. Probably going to let that go for about 30 minutes because we really don't want it to cook. We just want to warm it up and impart those flavors into the meat. After we do that, we'll come back in here a little bit with the skillet. We're going to crisp it up like you typically know carnitas. So folks, we're going to try to hold things down in the wind. Have a good one. We'll be back here shortly. All right, folks, let's get these seared up. I thought y'all might like to actually see what I'm doing rather than seeing me for a change. Oh, you hear that? Not going to take very long, folks. Got a little wind blowing, and that's going to crisp up really quick. I really like food like this. I'm not a good Mexican food cook, but I really like food like this. All right, this is starting to get about where we want it. We took the lid to our Dutch oven, and we have it here that we got hot, so that'll keep these carnitas hot while we go about what we need to do. Slow the cooking down just a tad. You know, there's no high-low knob. It's the distance from the fire to your food. Always remember that when you cook outside. And yes, folks, I'm using metal inside a Dutch oven or inside cast iron. As long as you have a good seasoning on there, you'll be fine. Pull these onions. Listen to me. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Pull those oranges out. Let's get another batch of this in the skillet. And back on we go. We're going to keep doing this for a little bit. Come back shortly. Hey everybody, we got those carnillas crisped up a little bit, and we're going to really do this country or cowboy style. We don't have a plate. We're just going to go for it. Now we took these corn tortillas and we put them in our skillet, which we had a little bacon grease in there. So we put them in the skillet just to, corn tortillas can get a little brittle. And we're not going to add anything to this. We're just going to go like it is. I'm going to get a piece here that's not too big because I know I'm going to bite off into something hot and y'all are going to laugh. Here we go. Mm. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know. That's really, really good. Folks, we appreciate everybody watching us, especially watching me talk with my mouth full. But, folks, y'all subscribe, y'all come back, y'all do whatever you need to do. We enjoy you visiting us. Enjoy the day, and above all, enjoy this food.